Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we have Alfred Hayes. Alfred Hayes was born in Whitechapel, London, and with his family moved to New York at age 3. And he later became a Hollywood screenwriter and then a novelist. This is from the New York Review of Books kind of reissue edition. It's a beautiful book and just an absolutely beautiful read. On the back, a 3-word blurb from Elizabeth Bowen, no less, a little masterpiece. And it is. I think that in losing her, for it was inevitable that I should lose her, what bothered me most was that I lost her to someone I could not feel superior to. Secretly, the bristling idea of his money had intimidated me too. I suppose if she had simply left me and there had been a temporary vacuum, a decent space her devotion to knitting or a trip to Chicago had filled, I might not have behaved as I did. It was of course silly of me to assume that she wouldn't have, when the time came, provided herself with a more than adequate replacement, for it is hardly natural for a woman to dispose of a man until accident or design has already provided her with the promise of another. For a while, I imagine she was torn. Before she could make a decision of any kind, she had to be sure. There must have been a moment, therefore, a sign of a special kind, an expression of a distinct sort of concern on his part. A night she had been unhappy and had cried, and he had comforted her, an unusual pressure upon her hand as they said goodbye, a revealing tenderness in his voice as he asked if she had a headache, that had convinced her she could at last be sure. Of course, a woman always seems to choose with a dismaying instinct the goddamnedest moments to end a love affair. Her dismissals always seem to come the way assassinations do, from the least expected quarter. There will be a note on the kitchen table, propped up against the sugar bowl, on exactly the day when most in love with her you arrive carrying a cellophaned orchid, or walking along the avenue, one arm about her waist and talking with great enthusiasm about a small house you saw for sale, cheap, 30 minutes from New York. They seem timed to arrive during birthday parties, when you are apparently happiest, or relaxing in a hot bath when the house is most peaceful, or taking a short walk in the garden, enjoying what promises to be a beautiful evening. She waits until that precise moment you are bending down to sniff the roses, and thinking that, after all, she is a wonderful girl and you are absolutely, really sold on her, and that the life between you has been, for all the small quarrels and differences, really fine, when bang, she fires from behind the rosebush. Her own particular shot was discharged on an evening when I was having dinner, the classic quiet kind, with a friend at a small Italian restaurant downtown which had a backyard over which an awning had been stretched.